Madam Chair, I would like to refer through you to the Minister of Education in teaching, again, reading, listening comprehension, actually. I didn't mention CapEx, I just mentioned projects. Any which way, moving on to my questions to the Minister of TIAT, via you, Madam Chair. You mentioned, with regards to the tourism budget, that the main markets of focus are the United States of America, Canada, and throughout Europe. What is going on with the plans of the Latin American market? I would like some clarity on what is happening in this market where it pertains to marketing. Furthermore, with the economic report out on the mega yachts industry, why has there been no plans or upgrades to the Simpson Bay Bridge? How come this has been overlooked for so long? Through you, Madam Chair, Minister, I would like to also know, how did the port and airport perform in 2024? What specific data supports these evaluations? What are the current home porting statistics, and how can the government facilitate improvements in this area? What are the government's goals and priorities for enhancing the transportation and trade sectors? Why has there never been plans to increase the parking for private jets, as this is business the island needs? What about plans for additional taxi for flights to accommodate handling more commercial jets, especially seeing most commercial flights land approximately at the same time? And finally, what is the economic spin-off for Seoul Beach? Moving further, through you, Madam Chair, for finance, our largest contributors to tax remains the captive taxes via payroll and business turnover tax, amounting to over 316 million guilders, which is almost 70% of our tax revenue. With our government needing to increase tax revenue at one end, while the small businesses and the salaried employees being stretched at the maximum being the largest contributors to our tax revenue, it is important to note that certain segments, in my opinion, of course, should pay taxes and have been getting an easy pass. For example, room tax on income from renting properties on platforms such as Airbnb is one sector. What are the plans for implementing this? I would also like to know if all hotels are compliant with their room tax. The 2024 budget indicated that 13 million guilders in accommodation tax would be collected, which is 5 million guilders more than the budgeted in the approved budget of 2023. This was attributed to the Ministry of Finance's campaign to educate the public about their obligation to declare income, such as income from shared service platforms, such as Airbnb. Here, we are depending on the obligations to declare from the property owners. I would just like to know how we are working on the front to ensure that the same websites can also collect taxes on behalf of the government and pass these collected taxes onto the government of St. Martin. My idea is more revenue generating, which is why I brought forward the idea of increasing the fees for the commercial permits. But if the good MP has better revenue generating ideas that can help this government, please do say. Moving further, through you, Madam Chair. Through you, Madam Chair. To add on to the crime situation on St. Martin, and I mean violent crime, which is on the rise, so few statistics are revealed to Parliament and the general public. We have seen a major shift of the OM into what is known as the white crime, especially when it comes to civil service, as we've seen just in the past 2 weeks. These crimes are highlighted in the media and have huge budgets attached to them, funded heavily by the Netherlands. But what is being done to fight the bread and butter type crimes? Crimes that are targeting businesses and individuals. Crime is happening on our streets in broad daylight. It's happening in our inner waters. It's happening in our neighborhoods. But I'm not seeing the level of funding for those. Are they not considered serious? We are being bombarded by negative publicity on social media abroad constantly, and we have nothing to say about it. So to the Minister of Justice, through you, Madam Chair, I'd just like to ask the following. And I know you've only been there 1 month, but how many arrests have been made over the last year for weapon possession? How many of those have been allowed to leave detention due to non-prosecution? By this, I am hearing stories of many individuals being arrested by our police, only to be let go by the OM due to not furthering the case. Why is that? Why are these statistics not made public? I do believe the people have a right to know. If it's a lack of space, then I believe some policies do have to change, as it's been repeated over the last few months. And it is in my purview that we do need to protect our people. A shooting was caught on camera in the Kotai area. Months later, no update. People are being robbed on the boardwalk, Front Street, Simpson Bay, Kotai, Maho, down to the yachters on the lagoon. Those culprits are caught. They are usually let go. Who determines that? Does the minister ever get to know what the priorities are of the OM? And does the OM understand that St. Martin is a tourist island and crimes to our tourism product is hurting the entire country? I do echo the same sentiments through you, Madam Chair, that our government on the north and south sides of the island need to get together to address this crime situation. We need to address the scooter situation, as I mentioned, the crime situation, and come with a joint way of working. Lastly, for the Minister of Justice, through you, Madam Chair, for a revenue-generating idea, can we look into creating a true red carpet system for the private jets? Many other islands are taking our business because we have lacked the creativity and the will in the past to take care of people with high financial abilities. These clients look for ease and access and good service. Those culprits are caught. They are usually let go. Who determines confidently devoid of any maritime disputes? And is our exclusive economic zone defined clearly? Have we considered engaging in a study on the potential finding of any fossil fuels in our exclusive economic zone? And have we also taken into account of any studies on the impact of the same on our fragile ecosystem? The reason I ask this is that in the future, if we do have any fossil fuel findings or potential to find, we do not want to wake up in existing maritime dispute at that moment. In my opinion, this would be life-changing to the people of St. Martin. Of course, if we do not behave like the administrations in the past, before the Marcelina 1 and 2 cabinet, with those who are working in the sole benefit of themselves. We would not have to be looking for money from anyone. We would not have to be answerable to the CFT. Easily, we would become a country with wealth. I would stand firm on the fact that we should not brush this aside, but put motion into the future of this country. That's it for me, and thank you very much, Madam Chair.